Good morning and welcome to Rob's Random Builds. So today's video is going to be slightly different. I'm just going to be doing a quick comparison of both my grinders, my Axminster Craft and my Metalworker 6-inch bench grinder. I've got a few categories written down on the board which I'm going to tick off depending on which one I think performs best in that little challenge. So we'll get to it. Our first category is quality. The Axminster Craft, the Clarke Metalworker 6-inch bench grinder. So the quality of the Axminster Craft is pretty good really, nice solid casing on it, bit of plasticky on the metal grinder but that's nothing too bad. The Clarke Metalworker is basically, again, solid, but the only disadvantage with this one is it has to be bolted down, otherwise you get a bit of movement. So this one, it's done with its own weight and it's got a nice bigger base, nice surface area to stand on. So it feels a little bit more sturdy than what the bench grinder does. So they both do seem pretty solid when you knock on them, rattle them about, so they are both basically on par. I'm going to give the quality tick to the Axminster just on the basis it's a bit more stable when you're grinding on it. Right, so the next category is size. So as you can see, the Axminster is the bigger grinder out of the both, and we'll get into some actual dimensions now. At its biggest, this Axminster is 500 by 250 by 650mm. That's your length, your width and your height. And the dimensions for the 6-inch bench grinder are 340 by 340 by 300. And that is again your height, your width and your depth. So in the size category, that's going to be a draw, because it just depends on what your personal preference is and your space limitations. So the next category is weight. Again, like the size category, it is going to be a draw because it depends on your limitations and what your workbench can hold. The Axminster is 21 kilos and the Metalworker is 9.8. So again, that category is a draw. Now on to noise. I have downloaded a decibel meter on my phone, so I'm going to turn both grinders on and I'm going to put the decibel meter on roughly 6 inches away from each one to see what the maximum noise it outputs is. So first we'll try the Clarke Metalworker. And that is coming in at 79.4 decibels. Now for the Axminster. The Axminster maxed out at 78 decibels. So when they're both at the peak, the quietest, not by much though, is the Axe. Right, so the next challenge is... So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get a piece of wood, I'm going to push it onto the belt, just put a little bit extra pressure on than what I normally would when I'm grinding, just to see what happens. Not enough to break anything, but it's a slight bit more than what I normally would. So I'm going to do that with both of them, with the same bit of wood. And the belt on each one of the grinders is an 80 grit belt, so no cheating with any of them, with one being more or less grit than the other. So let's get to it and have a go. We'll first go with the Clarke Metalworker and see what happens. On that one I put a slight bit more pressure on. Even so, I didn't even put that much pressure on, it just came to a stop. So we'll see if it does with the Axminster. We'll use the other end of the wood, so it's a fair challenge. So we'll see what goes on now. With that, I put on just about the same amount of pressure as I did on the Clarke grinder. It didn't come to a halt, and I put a little bit more and it did start sounding like it was struggling, so I pulled it off. So that's another win for the Axminster. Right, so now we're going to be doing the belt change challenge. See which belt is easiest to change on which grinder. We've got the Axminster, which I'll do first, and then we'll do the Metalworker. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so the Axminster took me 1 minute 20 seconds to change the belt, start it up and realign the belt to the centre. Now we'll get on with the Clarke Metalworker and we'll give that one a go. 3, 2, 1, go. So the Clarke Metalworker took me 3 minutes 2 seconds to change the belt, get it running and centralise the belt. So the Axminister wins this round because it was a lot easier, a lot faster. This category is belt sizes and cost. This one, the Axminster Craft, the belt size for that is 100mm by 915mm, and I managed to get 8 belts, varying in grits from 80 to 1000. I bought them off Amazon because it was the cheapest place I could find them, and they cost me just shy of £26. So the Clarke Metalworker, I bought them belts off eBay because it was the cheapest place I could find them. I managed to get 7 belts for just less than £8. So I'm pretty sure the Clarke Metalworker wins that one because I could buy 3 lots of them and it'll still be the same price as getting 8 belts for the same thing with the other one. But on the other side, these are bigger. But if you're after saving money and keeping things low cost, then I'd probably go with the Clarke Metalworker. Right, so the next category is cost. I'll tell you where each of them are from as well, and you can even check on the website. The Clarke Metalworker is from Machine Mart and costs around £70, which is not too bad for what it is. And the Axminster Craft is from the Axminster website, and that cost £123. So that's where they're both from and that's what they both cost. So it depends what money you've got available and for what you want really. So I'm going to put that down as a draw as well. So at the end of that, my thoughts and feelings are, they are both pretty good. The Axminster did win the challenges by 1 point, but again, it's what you're wanting to do, your personal preferences. The bonus of the Metalworker is it has got a 6-inch grinding wheel on, as well as a sanding belt, where the Axminster doesn't. It's just got a disc sander on it instead. And the other bonus for this Axminster is I can make the sanding belt go horizontal too. The disadvantages of the Metalworker is the platform where you do your grinding. It's tiny. As you can see from one of my previous videos, I struggled getting some straight lines. I had to basically slap a bit of wood on the little platform to make it bigger so I could put my jig on it. Whereas the Axminster's got a nice big platform. So if that was a category, that would be going to the Axminster. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop me a like, a comment, subscribe. And then next week we'll get back on with making some more things.